As a live performing musician, whether you're doing solo acoustic gigs or you're playing in a duo or with a full band, the one thing that you want to be able to do is to capture your performance on video. Now, of course, we're filming with our cell phones these days, and these devices actually do a really good job at capturing video. However, when it comes to audio, well, there's quite a bit that can be lacking. So I'm going to show you a very simple method on how to go from this to this.
I just wanna use your love tonight. Yeah, I don't wanna lose your love.
Now we're going to jump right into this, but make sure you hang around till after the video because I'm going to share some of my recent live performance with you, and I've got a couple of other cool things that I think you'll enjoy as well. So we're going to start out first by going over the additional equipment that you're going to need to bring to your shows, and chances are you probably have most, if not all of this already. Next, we'll go over how to connect everything. There are a few little caveats in that, but I'll go through that step by step. Lastly, we'll talk about how to put everything together, how to sync that audio with the video and present a really awesome product to the next venue that you're trying to get into, or if you want to post something on social media that has quality audio, because that's important for music. All right, let's first go over the additional components that you're going to need to bring to your live performances to capture this awesome audio. Now, you've already got your normal gear that you're going to bring, your soundboard, your speakers, monitors, mics, cables, all that good stuff. None of that changes, okay? You still need to bring all of that, obviously. The additional components are going to be, one, an audio interface. Now, if you're not familiar with what an audio interface is, this is just a conduit that's going to allow you to capture the direct signal from your soundboard into the recording device, which we'll get to next. Now, if you don't have an audio interface, or if you have a studio but you don't want to keep unplugging the one you have in your studio to use for live shows, and you want to get one specifically for your live performances, which actually I recommend that you do that. You don't have to go expensive on gear on this, okay? You can get something like for $100. I mean, here I'm using the PreSonus Audio Box USB, and I've had this thing since 2010. Now, this has two inputs. All you really need is just one, and we'll get to the connections after we talk about the gear. But yeah, you don't have to go expensive. You don't have to break the bank. You can pick up any like $100, $200 audio interface. That's going to work just fine for this purpose. Now, of course, you'll need the cable, which most audio interfaces are going to come with this cable, but the cable that connects the audio interface into your computer, which brings us to our next component. You do need a computer. This could be a laptop, it could even be something like an iPad, but you're going to need something that's going to run recording software, which we're about to talk about, in order to capture that direct signal from your soundboard. Next, you need recording software, or what's referred to as a DAW, which means Digital Audio Workstation if you're new to the recording world. Now, if you're running Apple, of course, you probably already have GarageBand installed, and you can use that for this purpose. In this case, I'm using PreSonus Studio One Pro. This is just the software that I've been using since I had that little interface there since about 2010. So I've just stuck with it over the years. And if you already have your own home studio, you've already got your DAW, most of these companies will allow you to download multiple versions. I think PreSonus actually allows you to download 5 iterations and tie that to 5 different computers. So I've got, PreSonus installed in my main studio here, but I've also got a copy installed on my MacBook Pro, which you saw earlier. Now, you'll also need an additional cable, and this cable could be a 1/4 inch, and in this case I'm using a 1/4 inch, and I'll show you why in a second, or you can use an XLR cable depending on how you plan to connect your interface to your board, which we're about to get into right now. Now let's talk about how to connect everything, which this part is really, really simple. However, first, before you do anything, I highly recommend that you just set up all your live gear as you normally would. Get all of that set up first and let the recording piece, your computer interface, all that good stuff, let that be the last thing that you do. So get everything set up, get everything in place. The one thing I do recommend is make sure you either have an extra table or extra space on the table where your soundboard is going to be. In my case, I've got a very small soundboard here. I've got the Mackie Pro FX 10V or V10, something like that. So I've got this black table It's kind of a small like TV tray table, but there's enough room to hold my Mackie soundboard and my laptop. So just make sure that you have a big enough table to hold both, or bring a separate table for your laptop. And then the first thing you want to do after that is you'll want to connect your audio interface into your computer. So have that set up first, and you'll connect that with the cable that comes with your interface. The other end of that cable should be a USB. And of course, this is all stuff you want to make sure that's in working order before you go to the show, before you start setting everything up. You don't want any surprises, so don't save this until the actual show. Do a test run first, okay? But anyway, so we're gonna connect that audio USB interface into our computer via the USB cable that comes with the interface there. And what I like to do at that point is I like to pull up the recording software on my computer. What I do is I just create a specific session. I create, or a song, so to speak, okay, in my DAW here. Then you're gonna create a new track. And all this is gonna be, again, we're keeping this very simple. This whole process is very simple. We're just going to use one track, okay? That's going to capture the mix from your board into that one track. Now, there are ways to multi-track with different gear and that sort of thing, but again, I wanted to keep this simple, and maybe we'll do a video on that later, but for right now, we want to keep things really simple. We just want to get a clear and precise audio track out of this, as opposed to having your phone out there capturing all the room noise and it just being really difficult to hear your vocals and the instruments and so forth. It just sounds kind of like mud. So we've got our computer set up, the interface is connected, we've got our software up, you know, everything is ready to go. Now we need to connect the interface to our soundboard. Now again, there are a few different ways you can do this. In my case, I'm just plugging my 1/4 inch into what's called the control room output here. So this would be another output that you could run to, I guess, a control room or something like that. And that's actually got its own level there. So that's another reason why I chose this specific output to go into. You could also, though, use an XLR cable going from your interface into the main output on your board as well, if you're not using all the main outputs. Now you'll see I've only got one main available here. Most of the time I'm using both of those main XLR outputs. In this specific case, I've got that one main output going into the input of the venue's soundboard. They have their own system here. I like to bring my own board. I don't want to get off track here, but I always bring my own board anyway, even to venues that have their own sound systems. It just gives me a little bit more control over what I'm doing. I'm familiar with the board. I've actually got another video on that, on gear that you may need to bring to venues that have their own sound equipment. I'll put it up there, and I'll also leave a link in the description of this video as well, so you can go check that out later. So I could have used an XLR cable to go into this. This particular board also has 1/4 inch outputs as well. So the point is here is you want to go through some sort of output here. And again, I chose the control room on this particular board because I've got my own level there that I can control, okay? So in other words, I might want that level different from my main level on the board, so that gives me that freedom. Now, one more method, you could actually go into the out of one of your speakers if you wanted to do that, if you didn't want to go straight through the board, okay? Because remember, all we're doing is capturing that direct sound, so you're still getting that mix from your board to the speaker, and you're just going to be feeding that from the speaker into your interface, and you'll be capturing essentially the same thing. Now everything is set up so you're ready to record your show. So what I do at this point is I will press record, and I'll make sure I see that little yellow line moving across so that I know we're recording. I've messed up doing that before. I remember in a recent show, I was like, I thought I recorded that. Then after that set, I look back, I'm like, I never hit the record button. So make sure you hit the record button. Anyway, I hit that record button, and then I'll turn on whatever camera or cameras that I'm using to get the video. Now let's briefly go over putting everything together, because this is where it really counts, right? You've got your audio recorded, so you know, you shut your studio down, that's done. Make sure you save it first before you shut everything down, by the way, don't make that mistake. turn your cameras off, you pack up, you go home. Now you've got to put everything together, and really all we're doing here is we're going to take the video from your phone or whatever camera you're using, and then you're going to get home and open up your studio and then render that file down to an MP3 file. You're going to drop both of those into whatever movie program you're using. In my case, I use iMovie. I'm thinking of upgrading to the Final Cut Pro at some point. I probably should do that sooner than later because I do a lot of video work now. But you just basically, you pull those files into whatever movie program you're using, and then you just sync them. And syncing is pretty easy because you're going to start the recording process around the same time. In other words, you're going to press record on your studio, then you're going to go right over to the camera and press it. So there's just going to be a few seconds lag there, and you'll also see the WAV files in the movie program of both the video and the audio. So once you move those together and sync them, you're pretty much set at that point. And then of course what you'll do at that point is drop the volume of the video, okay, once they're synced, so that you only hear that clear audio that you recorded in your studio. And I've actually got another video on syncing audio and video together for another purpose, but it's helped so many people. I'll throw it up there, and I'll also leave a link to that video in the description of this one. Now I've got some live footage I want to share with you guys in this video. A couple things real quick before we do that though. I want to give a huge shout out to the owner, Jamie, of Bullfrog Creek Brewing right here in my area. This is actually in the Brandon, Valrico area, and also to all the staff that work there. These folks are just so cool. It's just like one of those places you walk into and you just feel like you're at home, and they have really, really awesome beers. I mean, they've got some of the top of the line craft brews. They put a lot of passion into their products. So if you're in the area, if you live in the Tampa, Brandon, Valrico, Florida area, anywhere near those areas, then definitely check out Bullfrog Creek. I'll leave a link to their website in the description of this video as well. Now, it wouldn't be right for me not to share what beer I'm drinking in this video. So this is their hazy IPA here. See their cool logo. I love Bullfrog Creek's logo here. But this is their hazy IPA. It's called the Propeller Wash. Really good stuff. Awesome, awesome.
So many things that I want to say. You know I like my girls a little bit older. I just want to use your love tonight. I don't want to lose your love tonight. I ain't got many friends I can talk to. No one's around when I'm in trouble. You know I would do anything for you. Stay the night to keep it undercover. I just wanna use your love tonight. Yeah, I don't wanna lose your love tonight. Living in Reseda, there's a freeway running through the yard. I'm a bad boy, I don't even miss her. I'm a bad boy, breaking her heart. Now I'm free. I'm free falling. Yeah, I'm free. I'm free falling. With all the power you're releasing, it isn't safe to walk the city streets alone. Anticipation comes to me. Let's find the keys to turn this engine on. I can feel you breathe. I can feel your heartbeat faster. Take me home tonight. I don't wanna let you go to see the light. Take me home tonight. This is just like Ronnie said. Be my little baby. I'm learning to live without you now, but I miss you sometimes. The more I know, the less I understand all the things I thought I knew. I'm learning again. get down to the heart of the matter, but my will gets weak, and my thoughts are just scattered. So I think it's about forgiveness, forgiveness. Even if you don't love me anymore. Yeah, love will find a way. Talking love is gonna find a way. Find its way back to you. Love will find a way. So look around, open your heart. Love is gonna find a way. Love is gonna find a way. Love will find a way. Love is gonna find a way back to you. I know you've gotten over me. It'll never be the way it used to be. So if it's gotta be this way, don't worry, baby, I can take the news, okay? If you see me walking by and the tears are in my eyes, look away, baby, look away. And if we meet on the street someday and I don't know what to say, look away, baby, look away. Don't look at me, I don't want you to see me. I'm in a hurry to get things done. I rush till night's over. All I really gotta do is live and die, but I'm in a hurry and don't know why. Yeah, the midnight headlights blind you on a rainy night. Steep grade up ahead, slow me down, taking no time. I gotta keep rolling. Those windshield wipers slapping out a tempo, keeping perfect rhythm with the song of the radio. I gotta keep rolling. Ooh, I'm driving my life away, looking for a better way for me. Ooh, I'm driving my life away, looking for a sunny day. Rhythm and rhyme and harmony, you help me along, yeah, making me strong. Oh, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Yeah, yeah. Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. Wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Yeah, yeah. Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. Wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. You know I need your love. Got that hold over me. As long as I've got your love, you know I'll never leave. When I wanted you to share my life, I had no doubt in my mind. And it's been you, woman, right down the line. Know how much I lean on you, only you can see. Changes that I've gone through left a mark on me. You're always constant as my northern star, brightest light that shines. It's been you, woman, right down the line. I just wanna say this is my way of telling you everything I could never say before. Yeah, this is my way of telling you that every day I'm loving so much more. 'Cause you believed in me through my darkest night. Something better inside of me brought me into the light. Put away all those crazy dreams, I put them all behind. This one you, woman, right down the line. I just wanna say this is my way, telling you everything I could never say before. Yeah, this is my way, telling you every day I'm loving you so much more. If I should doubt myself, if I'm losing ground, I won't turn to someone else, it only let me down. When I wanted you to share my life, I had no doubt in my mind, it's been you, woman, right down the line.